I don't want to live there. Okay. Um, yeah, they have a beautiful highway that skirts it. But so um, down there, we were in a place called Manzanillo, which is about as far down the Caribbean coast towards Panama as you can get before the road just ends. It ends at a national park there. There's tons of national parks there, but it's right on the Caribbean coast. Beautiful water, beautiful, everything's beautiful. People are beautiful. And so we went into a restaurant there called Maxie's. And while we were there, I saw two flies. In Spanish, fly is called mosca. So I nicknamed that restaurant Dos Moscas. It was me, my friend named Jaime, and Veronica, his wife, and my wife Shelly. We were there, and we went to eat at Maxie's. They recommend Maxie's. If you go to Maxie's, get some with steak, stay away from the fish. Anyways, it's called Dos Moscas in my word, but it's called Maxie's. I hate flies. I can't stand flies. And so I have a fly flying around right now. I can't hear him, but I do see him zipping in front of the screen. One of these days I'm going to take the camera off. In the process of setting up all of this stuff and getting the costumes ready, speaking of another costume, I'm going to jump off topic once again, and I will show you this bad boy. This is for another YouTube channel that I'm going to cover in a minute, but this is for Oaty Kids World. The kids have been playing with this because they have readjusted it. So, this is Oaty Kids World. This is a YouTube channel that will not be getting absorbed into Oaty Box of Chocolates. Just wanted to say that. It's another costume. So, put a lot of time and effort into these videos and to these costumes, and I made some short videos recording just as we made it, so in the future somebody might like say, hey, how did you go about putting all this together, or how long did it take? So one of these days I'll take the camera off and I will show everybody around inside here, and yeah, what it looks like in our little studio. Let me tell you what the studio is. Studio is our garage. It's our garage is separate from our house, and so the garage was basically split in half because my wife homeschooled, and this was, we call it the schoolroom to this day, but it's actually not the schoolroom. This is now the office. But so we converted half of the garage, or almost half of the garage, into like a little studio, and that's where we're at now. If I take the camera off, Dee will be upset with me, and then I'll have everything out of whack. Right now the camera can't see my face if I were that. All right, so yeah, so getting back to I'm off topic again. Oaty. I think we were talking about Oaty, where Oaty Ghost Towns got absorbed into the place. But yeah, so we were going down through all of Central America. I lost track of where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apologize once only because I'm sincere about it. Forgive me. And we're going to move right on. So now we're going to go to Oaty Book Reviews. Oaty Book Reviews is another YouTube channel we're going to have. I have to check my list. I can't remember. Oaty Book Reviews, I believe, may be getting absorbed. Looking at my list, I have a lot of stuff on this table. And this is where the magic happens. According to Mr. Baldwin, I call him Balin, but his name's Baldwin. I believe John Allen is his name. If you go to TikTok and you watch John Allen, or on YouTube, I think it's, Mr. Baldwin. I think it's Mr. Baldwin, and on YouTube, just Google Mr. Baldwin. He's doing well. He's got like 7.5 million followers on TikTok, and coming up on 2 million, I think, on YouTube. He hasn't written a book yet, as far as I know, but he's another amazing Navy SEAL. He is just an amazing human being, and I think the world of him. Never met the guy, by the way. So let's see. All right. Oaty weight loss. Oaty book reviews. Yep, Oaty book reviews is getting absorbed by Oaty Box of Chocolates. So there's going to be a playlist, and as I make a video on a book review, it will be added under the book reviews. Mr. Baldwin, if you're listening, or if you ever see this, I hope someday you write a book. By the way, there's another fellow I'd like to shout out to, and so Oaty book reviews getting absorbed into Oaty Box of Chocolates. We'll talk more about book reviews in a second. But if for some reason he's out there, David Goggins, you wrote a book called You Can't Hurt Me. Amazing book, like your book. Towards the end of the book, you started to talk about some, like a different pace of stuff. Stop cussing so much. That didn't matter to me either way. But I don't judge you. But I would really like it if you would put out a book on stretching. Because you talked about stretching, and let me tell you something. I stopped driving a truck, and I stopped working in the oil field here about 6 months ago. I tried to take the leap and move over to doing something else, and it was COVID. COVID really slowed down a lot, and then we have our governor here in New Mexico. I'm not going to get into the politics on this channel, but let me tell you, our governor is not very supportive of the oil field. I'm not going to take a stand or a position on any of that right now because I'm waiting for King Jesus. Actually, I think he's going to be coming soon. I hope he does. But I got out of a routine of working for decades. I mean, long hours. You work out here, you work days. I worked one job one time. It's ridiculous to the point where, very foolish of me, by the way. I worked about 36 hours on and 12 hours off for almost a year. It's just crazy, some of the things that you need to do in order to provide the world with petroleum. But we like driving cars, and we like having warm houses in the wintertime. So people do what they got to do. But what I'm saying is, David Goggins, my body has atrophied to the point, one, where I am obese from, everybody knows about the quit smoking and started eating, and that's been about 8 years ago. It's taken a toll on my body because I traded one, I traded one bad habit for another. I gave up smoking for eating because food, when you quit smoking, let me tell you something, I smoked for 30 years, close to 30 years, 35 years. Let's see, I started when I was in 19 maybe-ish, and then I quit roughly 8 years ago. How old am I now? It's a long time, almost 3 decades of smoking. Let me tell you something, your taste buds stop working. And when you quit smoking, food tastes amazing. So, one of the affinities I have with restaurants around here. I just love to eat. And so I put on some pounds, and I traded one bad habit for another bad habit. And basically, bad habits are nothing more than a lack of self-discipline. It's simply that. If you're obese, if you smoke, I hear preachers preach about in my life all these different things. It doesn't really matter. If you have an issue with anything, it's probably a lack of self-discipline. The Apostle Paul said, I won't be brought under the power of any, and I have. So, David Goggins, if you'll make a book on stretching, because my body has atrophied to the point to where stretching, when I do the video, I have a yoga mat right here. Stretching is something that I'm beginning to get into. I'll tell you what brought it all about was a couple years ago. I was hauling oil. I was running in the middle of the night, and I had to get across this location to do something. And I pulled a hamstring when I was running across an oil field location. I dropped to my knees in pain. When you have a muscle, a tendon break behind your leg, and then that muscle just balls up at the top, I've been in some situations where I had some pain in my life. I think everybody has. That hurt. It hurt, and it took a long time to recover from, and it messed up my back. It led to a lot of other problems, but hey, body's amazing. I went and learned how they heal and everything else. Pretty amazing stuff. Now, just getting on, so I would love to see a book, and so a book, Oaty book reviews. I got into reading. I've always been kind of a reader, but not really hard. When I was in the kill truck, you can go through some stuff. You can literally read some stuff when you are sitting down all day long. And I know I'm going all over the map with this video, guys, so forgive me. As we're going through, I'm thinking back about things that I started to talk about, and then I changed subjects. I'm just excited to make videos for you guys and to share. I really want to share and be a blessing to somebody of some kind. I want to entertain. I want to put something positive out there that will help other people. I've had a lot of stuff in my life where I have benefited from pretty much everything. Knowledge. You come in not knowing anything. I had some really good opportunities in my life where people share things with me and take time to, especially my granddad, step-granddad. people who just take an interest in you. And so I hope that by watching the content that I put out through these channels, Oaty Box Chocolates and these, I hope you benefit. But Oaty book reviews, many different books we're going to be reviewing. Quite a few of them actually by Navy SEALs. So Mr. Baldwin, get out there and write us a book. David Goggins, write another book. I'm going to stop preaching on that now, but no, there are some amazing books out there. And the reason why I find these books so, I actually have a couple friends that were Navy SEALs. One of them, he's not with us anymore, but he was supposed to be the best man at my wedding, and then he didn't show up. And so I had a different person stand in to be the best friend at my wedding. And after my wedding, I called him. I was like, "Hey, bro, what happened?" Back